I'm DJ Semtex, and right now I'm with one of the sickest, greatest producers in the game right now. We're in the heart of London, we're right in the city, and today, we're going to talk about music. We're going to talk about some of the great projects that he's been involved with, and we're going to talk about how he got into the game, how he started, all of that. My man, Pi'erre Bourne, what's going on, man?
What's going on, bro? Thanks for having me.
Yo, it's great to finally connect with you. Like I've been blazing your music for years now. Thank you for making me look good in the club, on stage in festivals. It's like
I've never gotten a thank you for that, so I appreciate that. That's
it's
crazy.
true. It's true though. As DJs,
Man, shout out to the DJs, bro. For real. I haven't really got to thank the DJs, but I know y'all be playing the fuck out the music, because how else would people know?
Yeah, it's very. There's is as DJs we just press play. We play music. Obviously with select mix and all of that, but we wouldn't exist without great music. So and you've been making bangers, man. Like
Thank you.
bangers that just I was at Leeds Festival recently and I played Bad Boy, the Juice WRLD joint, Playboi Carti. Bro, immense. The joint that was playing before, it doesn't even matter what it was. As soon as I press play, the right hand turntable on your side, immense.
Man, that's crazy. Rest in peace, Juice, man.
Definitely. And I just want to know, like, for yourself, how did you start making beats? Where did it start for you?
I definitely get asked this question a lot, so I'm trying to make sure I answer it the right way, like I was before. But when I was a child, I had the rhyme book and stuff, the notepad and pencil, pen, and I took that everywhere I went at first. And then I needed beats to kind of like rap on myself, so because I wanted it to sound original. I didn't want to continue like back in the day. Everyone had like mixtapes and they would rap on other instrumentals and stuff. So I kind of took that route at first, but then I didn't know how to like engineer then, because I was still a child. So I was like, the only way it would sound like decent or where you can like hide the fact that I can't mix is if it's a whole nother beat instead of what someone already heard on the radio, because they'll compare it like, oh, this isn't, the quality is not like the one on the radio. So I used to get asked a lot at first, like when I would play my music, like in high school, like, is it mix and master? And I never knew what that was. But when I was definitely a child, I started trying to make beats and stuff. But at first it was for myself, and then I tried to sell it a little bit. I made a couple bucks. I was like, yeah, maybe one day this will be cool, but I wasn't really tripping on it. Like it being a dream of mine to be like a top producer, like selling like crazy. Yeah, I never thought it would be that.
I mean that's a lot of pressure, man, to be in high school and people. I mean, already you're getting the speculation. Yo, is this mix or mastered? It's like, what in terms of the rapping side of things and writing and stuff like that. Who was inspiring you around this time, like to get a picture of like what it was like when you was coming through?
Wow. I mean, the most inspiring at that time was probably 50 Cent, because he's from Southside Jamaica, Queens, and my grandmother and like my family, they're from there too. So like seeing like his effect out there and then to the world, it's like, wow. And then Nicki Minaj, when she blew up, she's from Queens too. It's like, wow. Like you hear all these stories like about Run DMC, Russell Simmons, Salt and Pepper, like all these acts back in the day from Queens, and it's like, like even Fubu is from Queens. Like it started in Queens. Wow. Yeah, it's a lot of history from Queens. So growing up is like, I felt like I had my chest poked out. I felt like I was gonna be somebody. I just didn't know what it would be.
Right.
But I definitely had like the mentality, like, yeah, I'm gonna be somebody one day on TV or stage with this mic. So we did it, and we're doing it. So yeah.
Cool. When you say 50 Cent, was that the mixtape 50 Cent, or was it Get Rich or Die Trying?
Man, it was all of that stuff. Cause like my uncle, he put me on to all that music. I was just like a sponge around him, and he was like in high school around that time, so he put me on to like Dipset and G Unit. But the fact that they were from like the neighborhood, it was just like it's possible. Like no one could tell me like, oh, you can't do this, because I'm literally watching this man make movies, Vitamin Water, now Power, and the Kanan, and then they're shooting it. They're shooting some of the Kanan stuff in my neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They just kind of like repainted the courts and stuff to make it look kind of like old school. But yeah, bro, it's still inspiring. It used to be inspiring back in the day, but now it's like still inspiring, because 50 Cent's still doing more and more business ventures, and the success still continues. So I'm definitely inspired to not necessarily copy him, but it's cool to see someone still succeed in different routes, not just music. So
what do you think of the Kanan series?
I haven't really been able to get into it all the way. One of my artists, Shark, he plays it all the time when we're at the house. Right. So I catch it when he's at the house. But I've seen a lot of advertisement. Yeah. Like when I was in Paris in July, I saw this big billboard for it. So I was just like, yeah, this is gonna be a big show. So yeah, I heard it's going crazy though. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm obviously not from Queens or New York, but for me, the way that they've used the music in that is crazy. Word. I think the actors are dope, but Joey Badass as well, he's killed it. Like he's
a star, bro.
Yeah. Dope rapper, and he was dope in Mr. Robot and everything else. But in this, like
I hit him up about this one. I was like, man, y'all shooting it in my neighborhood? That's crazy. Like, just keep going, like for real, because he's a good actor too. Like he can rap, but he's a great actor.
Yeah.
Like a really good actor. Like that's why I told him, like, just keep doing what you're doing. I ain't got nothing else to tell you.
Yeah. So, all right. So you're making beats. Like, what was that first beat that you made sound like? How did you put it together?
Ooh.
What equipment was you using?
The first beat probably sounded really bad. I'm not gonna lie. Cause like I had put it on my iPod and I'd take it to school and play it for my friends or people in my class. And like they'll put the headphone in and be like, what the hell? What is this? I'm like, damn, is that bad? Like, cause I'm thinking like before they play it, I'm like, okay, you ready? You ready? And they play it like, yo, what the fuck is that? So them being that honest, I just went home the next day or after that, after school that day, and just tried to like fix whatever they told me was wrong with it. And then there was a couple other producers, upperclassmen, that kind of like told me like, oh, you're doing this, that's why it sounds like this. I just didn't know how to keep everything like on beat. It was just like, it would sound like the beat was a freestyle. So like if someone played it off of MPC, I guess that's how it sounded at first. Like I had to really be on beat if I wanted the clap to be with the sample.
Right.
I just didn't understand how to really just put everything together yet. But yeah, my friends being honest with me for sure. I'm glad they didn't lie and was like, yeah, this is hard, because I probably would not be here.
Who was inspiring you in terms of production?
See, that's the thing. Like, I mean, I was familiar with producers and stuff back in the day, but like, I like Jay Dilla a lot. Like, I really love Jay Dilla's beats and his music. Of course, everyone's gonna assume I'm gonna say Kanye and like Pharrell. My mom used to always just say like, "You're like she would just say stuff like, "You're like Pharrell. You should pay attention to him." And I would just be like whatever, like I hear you, but when your mom tells you, it's like you're not trying to hear none of that, even if she's telling you something good. And she was, because like I love to wear Bape, and I'm making my own clothing line, Sauce Boy. So it's like, yeah, definitely inspired by him after I paid attention. But my mom was, she was right when I was a kid, because when I was like trying to play the piano and just make beats in the house and then record, she was just like, you need to pay attention to Pharrell. And I was just like, yeah, all right.
But I get, with Dilla, even just talking about it now, there's similarities in the sense that you both do things that are off the wall.
Mhm.
You both do things that bang, and you both treat bass differently. Because it's some producers, it's just ABC shit. It's just like, you can predict what's gonna happen and where the drop's gonna come in and everything else. But I think with Dilla, it was very special, very ahead of the curve, very. It was pure,
Yes.
and innovative,
And it still can't be duplicated. His is just out of here, like the sampling, like all that stuff. Like I used to do that stuff at first. That was like my first set of beats. Was like samples, loops, chopping up stuff, like with the drum machine, just trying to like just really go in. But now it's hard to get the samples cleared, so it's like that kind of ruins the fun. So I don't really chop up samples. If anything, I just chop up myself.
Right.
So like a couple beats I've placed, like no one knows, or I don't know if they know, but if they don't, they know now because I have like my vocoder or like my voice like chopped up in a couple of songs, like the Yeserski song, that's like me singing in the background.
Right.
I think Long Ride on Young Nudi's Project Slime Air, it's me in the background, like the vocoder. I like doing stuff like that if they don't mind, but I don't be trying to like overpower the song. It's just to be like an effect or an instrument.
Right.
So
when you've done a series of projects before you got the big breakthrough, what was it like coming through, like that patiently waiting moment? Like what was your inspiration to keep going? Because there's some people who come through, they don't make it. They either give up too soon, or they're not able to carry on.
I would say, well, my faith in God and my family, those two really helped me out tremendously. Like, yeah. And even when I wasn't around my family, I pray a lot, so that kind of just keep me balanced, man. I don't know about everybody else, but me, I gotta pray. So, yeah, that's what really got me through. It was rough. I knew it was gonna be hard though. I mean, I watched a lot of documentaries. I seen some people's stuff. Their stories are even way worse than mine. So, anytime it would get rough, I probably would be down for a second, but I always gotta remember it could be worse. It's somebody else going through a worse situation than me. And then like my family, they're from Belize, and that my grandmother moved to like Queens in the 60s, 1960, around that time. And then my mother was born, and then the family, was started out there. So, well, my mom was like the first born in America, like out of my grandmother's kids. So kind of like I'm her only child. So it's been hella pressure since I was a child. So whether I was gonna do music or be an accountant or whatever, it was just pressure on to do something, to be something, to succeed in something, so I can help my family out. Because most of my family is still in Belize.
Right.
So it's like going home and then seeing that is like, it's an eye opener, and it just showed me where I was at. I'm more self-aware for sure. So yeah, really my family and just my faith.
Right. Okay. What would you say was your first big breakthrough? What would you say was the turning point where it's like you were discovered, even though you've been on the grind for years, even though you've been putting in the work? What was that turning point?
I guess when I met Carti, like the Woke Up Like This song and Magnolia. But me and Nudie had Atlanta like on lock, like chokehold, like just, and still like Atlanta shows me love tremendously, like it's crazy. because I never really walked out of the studio to see the love. Like, still to this day, I haven't really spent a week in Atlanta of just doing things or just going out and seeing the love that we get out there. But I see it on my phone when Nudie has a show or Savage has a show. It's crazy. It's like, hard work pays off. Like, okay, I get it. But now it's time to be outside and see it all. But yeah, my big breakthrough was meeting Carti. That got me like mainstream for sure. But like in Atlanta, like me and Nudie was going crazy with the Slime Ball series. Like even Drake was tuned in to like the song Nudie and Savage did. It's called EA on Slime Ball 2. So like that was like right before I met Carti. So it was like kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to say like, yeah, Carti got me mainstream as hell, but me and Nudie, we was locked in going crazy. Like we started a whole wave in Atlanta itself to the point where everybody was rapping like Nudie. And then now everybody makes beats like me.
It's crazy. You know what's crazy as well is that, when 50 Cent was coming through, people were saying that he was taking the southern accent, southern drawl and everything else. But you've basically you define that sound. Like your sound is synonymous with Atlanta. It's this era. You define the sound for a whole generations.
Yeah.
It's crazy the turnaround.
Yeah, it's crazy to talk about it now and like really speak on it, because I don't really speak on it. I just be like, okay. But yeah, it's time to like own it and really like, yeah, we did that shit and we still doing it. Anything I make, they're just gonna copy and try to emulate, get inspired by it. So I'm happy with the role and position I'm in now. Before it was like, do they like it? Now it's like, we can literally put a beat out and it don't got no sounds in it and they'll still like it if they hear the tag first. Like, we've worked so hard to where they respect it that much. To where it's like, oh, like as soon as they hear it, and then it's nothing. It's like, I'm not finished yet. Like, let me, But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with the seat that I'm in for sure.
I mean, you and Carti are definitely, you've it's crazy because it's like you've both come through together. Like, in terms of, I don't want to be predictable and talk about Magnolia. Obviously, that was a smash, and it does its thing worldwide. But there's definitely something with you two when you come together. It's just greatness, But from your own perspective as a producer and as a fan of hip hop, what would you say it is that makes Carti different to other rappers? Because he's evolved as well recently. He's in a different space now. But like, yeah, what is it that you would say that makes him unique?
I don't know. He would have to. I don't know. He would have to, I guess, explain that or be more have more details to that. I don't really know. Carti's just Carti. Carti's him. Like, just like how everybody be trying to figure out, how do I do this and that, and the third. It's in us. I don't know. We just paired up at a good time. Like, we're very similar as far as like personalities. I mean, when I'm around him and stuff, like, that's like my little brother for real. So, but when I first met him, it was like, it was too much in common. Like, our first names are Jordan, so just weird at first. But it was like not a bad weird, but like a cool, like weird, like, cause it's like you just met someone and it's like, why is this so cool? Like, why is this like so perfect? It's like, nah. Like, the whole time I'm just like, nah, this can't be real. And then the Magnolia came out and it went crazy. I'm like, nah. And then we shot the video and I'm just like, nah. Then the Weeknd had us come out in the Barclays Center. I'm like, Nah. Like it just keeps getting crazy and crazy. I was just like, nah, this cannot be life. Like this is crazy because when I met him, I did not expect any of that to like transpire. So like both our lives changed. Like I just didn't know his life was changing at the same time. I thought it was already like that. I was like coming into a new situation, but after a while I had to realize like, yeah, both our lives changed when we met each other for sure. Like, yeah.
I gotta ask, right? Again, I'm taking it back a couple of years. You know, woke up like this. Yo, I'm just trying to trace the DNA of the greatness. Like, just how did that come together? Because I'm just saying, I'm on the receiving end as a DJ. I play that in a club or on my radio show. I just want to know how it came about.
I wasn't even there. That's how I met him. Like I seen a video or something. I seen a video on YouTube, not YouTube, on Instagram. It had like 100K views. And I was like, who is this guy? Like, and how does he have my beat? So like the people that was showing it to me, I had gave them the beat because I thought they was affiliated with Yachty and the Sailing Team back in the day. So I was assuming, who give this beat to the member of the Sailing Team with Yachty, he'll give the beats to Yachty. And I get to the studio and they're like, damn, Carti got your beats. I'm like, when was y'all like when was y'all gonna tell me this? And then they showed me the video. It had 100K views. I was just like, it's crazy. Me and Nudie get 100K on YouTube with no video. It just be the audio, just a cover art. I'm like, bro, lit. I just didn't know what was going on. I still didn't know. But it was like, if you ever seen an Instagram video of him in the car playing Woke Up Like This, like before it came out. Yeah, man, I was just like, whoa. And then when I heard it in the studio, Uzi was on it too. So I was just like, damn, that's crazy. But yeah, I wasn't even there. Yeah, I wasn't even there.
Crazy. That's
I made that beat though, like, as like a New Year's resolution. Like, I just want to make 10 beats a day, every day, until something good happens. Cause like before that happened, a couple things happened. Like I had linked Metro Boomin, and we worked for a little bit. I met Southside. I met a lot of people in 808 Mafia, like through working with Nudie and stuff. So like we was making some noise for real. So I was like, let me just keep working though. Don't slack. Even though I met these people, just keep cooking up. Somebody gonna reach out and want this. So I guess I was just ready for the moment. Cause I wasn't even there. I wish I was there though.
That's a fascinating resolution. 10 beats a day.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, was there ever any doubt? Was there ever any like second guessing? Am I doing the right thing? Is this the right path for me? Like,
man, not to cut you off, but man, if anybody could like sit here right now and they have met me whether I was 5, 8, 10, 13, 17, 20, 23. I always wanted to do this, bro. Swear. Like everybody's like, even if I reconnect with somebody that hasn't seen me in years, like my cousin in Chicago, I brought him to the festival I did with Lyrical Lemonade, I think last weekend, and we reconnected at his father recently passed, and my uncle, he's on my album. We had worked on music together, so we had reconnected and stuff, and I was trying to tell him like, yeah, I do music. And I still don't even think he knows his dad is on the song with me. But he's like still realizing like, oh, I've been listening to you the whole time. Like, cause he said that, like, I got it on video somewhere. And he's like, man, so you Playboi Carti? Damn, you made them beats. Damn, that's crazy. I've been listening to you the whole time. That's crazy. I was like, I tried to tell you when we was in New York. I tried to tell you, just prepare yourself, because you might be like, what the fuck? And then I performed on this stage at the festival. So that's the first time he's seen that and me since I was a child. But when I was a child, I was rapping in the house. Yeah. So he's just like, yeah, you was doing it when we was kids, but damn, it's crazy. Wow. So like anybody though, like, oh, and one of my friends, like, he used to be in and out of trouble as a kid. So like we would always be like in and out of touch. So when I reconnected with him like a couple years back, he knew me for rapping.
Right.
So when he was like, "Wait, yo Pi'erre?" He was like, "Bro, what happened?" Like what? Like he was disappointed. Right. And I was like, "See, that's how I know you're like my best friend, because you really know what I wanted to do."
Right.
Because he was like, "Bro, what the fuck happened? Like, how are you a producer? Like what? Like what?" I was like, "Bro, we gotta talk." But yeah, man, since I was a child, bro, I always felt like this was gonna happen. And my grandmother used to say like crazy stuff to me, like, I don't know, like little riddles and stuff. Like she'll call me and be like, don't fail me." Wow. I'm like, what is she talking about? Like she didn't know I was trying to go to Atlanta and do the music and like sleeping on the floor damn near. So when she called me, I'm like, yeah, everything's fine. I'm literally lying on the floor. Like literally like, yeah, everything's fine, Grandma. Please get off the phone. I'm struggling down here. Let me get back to work. And she's like, yeah, don't fail me. And I'm like, all right. There's even more pressure, but okay. Yeah.
Wow. As an artist, as a producer, you put your DNA in the track. You put there's a piece of your soul goes into what you do when you're creating. How's it feel when all of a sudden a folder of beats is turning up somewhere where you didn't want it to go or didn't expect it, or someone jumps on a track that wasn't made for them? Like, honestly,
I had to just get over like I honestly, I don't be getting mad at stuff no more. Like everybody be assuming like, oh yeah, if he's probably mad or he's pissed off with me. But no, I really just be in my own little world. Like that's why the beats sound the way they sound. That's why my music sound the way it sound. It's not part of what's going on. I mean, now it is because people copy it so much. So it's like, damn, do I have to change it? But I still like feel like, you know, everything I'm putting out is me. So when people hear it, it's like, oh, the more I put out more music, the more they understand and comprehend, the more I perform and really showcase my abilities and stuff. It's like, okay, he's really like a jack of all trades. Like not just like a hobby. It's not a hobby. Like, I'm trying to be the best at everything. So it's not just like, oh, I'm gonna be number 7. Like, no, I'm trying to be number 1. So in beats, artists, I mean, because the beats now, because I'm put in that category, but I didn't give, like, when they asked me to talk about the top producers and all that stuff, I hate it because it's like, it's kind of disrespectful to all the producers that's out there, because it's like you're only putting like 5 options and there's so many dope producers, so many producers that actually collab on one beat that's the hit that people don't know about, and they assume it's just that one guy. So it's like, you gotta show love to all of them, just like the DJs. So it's like, I kind of don't want to, like when people be like, yeah, what's your top 5 or your top 10? It's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Just show love to everybody, because there's so many people you're going to forget about. They're going to be mad at me. I don't want to go through that anymore. Like,
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, I didn't ask to do that. I was asked to do that,
I hate award shows and I hate lists because...
Oh, whoa. I ain't going to say I hate award shows. I ain't ever going to go back. I would love a Moon Man, a Grammy. Yeah. We got a Grammy this year, though. Yeah.
All right. The only reason why I'm saying that is because it's this year's going to be a problem. There's a lot of great projects out this year.
Oh, no, for sure. But that's why it's competition, man. They told me as a child, social Darwinism, that's one thing that stuck with me. Survival of the fittest. It is what it is. It just is what it is. And it might sound cruel, might sound vague or whatever, but it's the hard truth. And it's something that I have to keep learning myself. Like, if I sit at the house and don't do nothing, everybody's going to continue living their life, continue working, continue succeeding, continue doing whatever they want to do. So it's like, do I want to be a part of the wave, do I want to start a new wave? It's like I be at the house just thinking like I need to be outside more. So that's my goal. I'm on tour all year.
That's dope.
Like
Yo,
for real.
yo,
As soon as the world opened back up, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Because COVID was like I was already doing that. Social distancing at the house, just never really leaving. Uber Eats. Just I've been doing that for a couple years before COVID. So it's like when COVID hit, it was like, oh fuck. I gotta do this every day for real now. Like, damn, that was by choice. You know? For real. So I already knew the routine. It just drove me crazy. So now the world's open back up, vaccinated. You know, everyone's being safe, wearing the mask. I got mine right in my pocket. Don't get it. Yeah, I got my mask. Yeah. Don't forget. I'm in London. I gotta be safe. But yeah, man, I'm just happy to be working and doing what I really wanted to do since I was a kid. I always wanted to have the mic in my hand, singing my song. They sing the words back, and I can pause and they finish the word. Like stuff like that. Oh man, it's a blessing, bro. For real.
That's dope. I mean, it took a minute for US artists to get the need to tour as well. Like, you know, and I think one of the first groups that got it immediately, and Destiny's Child, like they straight away, like I think at one point they were bigger here than what they were in America.
That's crazy.
Shout out to Matthew Knowles. I used to do all the street team stuff for them back then.
For real?
They were back and forth like
that's crazy.
Every other month. They just come over like straight.
Wow, man.
You know.
Salute, man. For real.
And then
that's crazy, bro. Like what? Oh my God, that's crazy. I'm just thinking about like when I was a kid and they was out and like that hard. That hard. Yeah.
And then but one of the first rap acts to really take it seriously over here was Kanye. He was back and forth here all the time. He loved it. Yeah, he loved it. He
cool.
When he started doing his things out here, more people started coming over. You could see the difference. More people started paying attention to what happens out here and what we do out here.
Okay.
You know, and recently he was at Alt Fest. He was at a festival. You know, we've seen the pandemic. Last 18 months to 2 years has been shut down. Like, how did it feel to be out here, like on a stage like that?
To be honest, I kind of liked my show last year. I ain't gonna lie. The show last year was just like, but it wasn't a festival. It was like my own venue, like my own show, like just me. So like everyone that came there, you know, they literally came there to see me. With festivals, it's kind of hard to like dictate the crowd unless like your music is like top 40, top 20, top 10, whatever the numbers is. I don't care about that, but I'm noticing like, you know, I ain't tripping on being on the main stage unless it's like I'm going super crazy because that's what I want. Like I seen like DMX do like Woodstock like on video, like the recap footage. I watched stuff like that. And the whole crowd, like the whole crowd was singing the words. And I've seen Drake perform in arenas. I went on tour with him in 2017. And like, that's big bro. So like, he showed me what it's like. So it's like, I'm just chasing and working my ass off till I get to that point. So I don't really be phased on like yesterday. Like, I left right after, like, you know, I wasn't really like trying to like linger. I went straight to the studio. Like that's how I am. I think Kanye told me like when I was around him, I was trying to tell him about something, and I guess he just wasn't trying to hear that shit. So it's like, you know, you keep talking about the same thing, you know, you drive yourself crazy, you end up in the hospital. So I'm like, you drive yourself insane. Like you got to focus on the next thing. And I was just like, all I wanted was some advice. Like, but I'm just keep it moving, and that's just how I've been. I really took that in. It was just like, say less, and shit. He a billionaire, you know what I'm saying? So that's inspiring. Working with him and all that stuff. So, you know, just being able to work with these people, call them like my big brothers and stuff, like, you know, and they really show me, you know, certain things to look out for, just because they see that I'm trying to not necessarily do what they do, but I'm alike what I like in a lot of ways. So it's like here, they're not gonna be like, here's the game, but they'll definitely be like, come around and see how it is, because one day it'll be like this for you. I know that's not exactly what they're telling me, but no one else is being able to see this and be a sponge. So it's like, do I take this and learn from this and like evolve, or do I just go home and watch TV and act like I didn't see none of that shit? So like even the STEM player,
it's crazy.
I've been knew about that.
Right.
I've been telling my friends about that. I can't really do that in interviews like until it's out.
Yeah.
When I seen it, I was like, oh,
yeah.
I told y'all. All my friends called me like, bro, you was right. I've been telling them about that for like 2 years. Like,
yeah.
Cause we was trying to do that thing for like the Jesus is King album. We had a meeting, like I was around him. Kanye, like he showed me how to like what's next for me. So it's like I'm cool. I'm happy. We did the Alt London, but when it's really a show for me, when everyone shows up, we go nuts. Like we go crazy. So that's what I look forward to. I just gotta keep working, get my music going more, get more popular out here, globally. That way, when I do these festivals, it's a bigger deal. So that was my first main stage too.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I didn't know how to. It's like a catwalk. I'm like, what is this? Like, what the hell? What is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta walk. I gotta run up and down and shit. Like, I was like, then I only got 30 minutes. I'm like, really? You give someone an hour with this one. That way I can really get familiar with this. Because I'm like, damn, by the time I'm finishing up, I'm going to figure it out. And that happened. I did For You and then 40 Clip. That was the songs I finished with. And that was like, I started feeling really good about it. But I was like, damn, I got to go.
Switching lanes is dope.
Yes.
I love that joint.
Thank you.
When you get your PRS statements and you see a spike in the UK, that's me.
Thanks, bro.
Just
Thank you.
Facts, right?
Thank you. That's one of my favorites too, for real.
But how would you feel though if someone loads it into the STEM player and they start taking it apart, deconstructing it?
I mean, I don't know how they're gonna do that, but I mean, it's sampling, right? So you sample something, you better call us, or we'll just sue your ass. You know what I'm saying? I got good lawyers. We lawyered up. Shout out to Interscope, Sauce House. Shout out to my lawyer, man. It's like my best friend.
All right. So
for real,
yo, like, what's next? Because you're touring. Just keep coming back to the UK. Just keep building your fans out here. Like, it's one of the most loyal fan bases out here. Like, we got a real thirst for rap.
Man, I love coming out here. London, Leeds, Manchester. Like I hit all them spots last year, and every show was really a good turnout. It surprised me doing a Europe tour last year in general. It was like, okay, that was my first tour by myself in general, like ever. Like just nobody with me, just me and my friends. So to do it in Europe and then see the result, like I was like, yeah, I definitely need to do it back home in America, but I'm not even tripping on America. I could just hit Europe again. Like I don't gotta do America. Like it's so many people that don't come out here. So I'm like seeing how everyone appreciates it more. Like they're more like in tune at the show. They're just like eyes glued. Sometimes they don't even want to jump. They just like
studying.
Like, wow. And I had to realize that because at first I'm like, what is up with them out here? And someone was telling me like, no, it's just like we never see stuff like this. So it's like, you kind of don't want to do too much. You like want to pay attention. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because back home, they just go crazy and it's over. And they're like, damn, it's over. And it's like, yeah, you should have been paying attention while you were doing that. But yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I love coming out here. Yeah.
Is there any artist or is there any sounds or anything that you paid attention to out here, or is there anything that you're feeling like a UK vibe?
Before I even traveled out here, I don't know if people still make music like that. 'Cause I'm not familiar with the culture out here yet. I think this was my longest stay in London, maybe 5 or 6 days. But I had to quarantine. My first day out was yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't do nothing for 5 days. Just watch TV, Rick and Morty. I got season 5, so I was just watching that over and over and over again.
Right.
But damn, what was I saying? But what was it? What am I?
Yeah. Is there any UK artist that's caught your ear?
It was I guess this genre called like UK garage music.
Yeah.
I used to listen to that on YouTube a lot. I just like the way it sounds, the way it make me feel. But it's like coming out here, it's like I don't see that. You know, like outside, like the beats and stuff, it just sounds so like happy and like, and then you look outside, it's like, it's gloomy as hell outside, pretty muggy, overcast.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, it's a typical day in London. I'm like,
yeah.
That music though, you would think it's like, it must be like the club scene. I haven't really seen that part.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure that's where the music is like really going off at in the club. But yeah, I really like the way the UK garage music sounds. I sampled it before, like on an old song on my SoundCloud. I think it's called Loud Pack. It's an old song, like old.
Right.
But yeah.
All right.
Like, yeah.
And then look, if you come to the clubs in the UK, you know, when everything's open up properly and we're back in swing, you're gonna hear. You'll still hear. We call it UKG, like UK Garage. But
okay,
that was an era.
I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah,
UKG.
That was the early noughties. Then now the main thing that's popping is UK drill. That's
oh no, for sure.
Yeah.
You know the drill.
Yeah.
Me, I'm not really a drill guy. Like, you know, my artist Shark, he was making drill music when I first met him. I told him cut that shit out. I was like, look, I make these beats over here, bruh. So. And this was like woke up like this,
right?
Magnolia. So like, bro, I'm not about to. But he was on to some shit, man. He be telling me that now, like, bro, I told you, I told you. I'm like, yeah, he definitely did. So like on Drunk and Nasty, I put a little bit in there for like his verse. If anyone notices it, like I kind of, like I like the drill stuff, but it's like I don't like all of it,
right?
Because after a while it starts to sound the same,
right?
So it's like, damn, like who is this? It sounds like the same thing as the last song. Like when it starts doing that, it's like, all right, I can't do it. But everyone else, you know, they love it. Like when Pop Smoke came out, my best friend was playing it. I'm like, yo, how many times are we gonna listen to this song? And then he blew up. No, this is before he blew up.
Right.
Then he blew up, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the same song we was listening to all summer. I'm like, damn. If I would have known that, I would have asked him who was his name in the car. And then I would have pulled up on him. We worked on some music. Because I was like, you know, my friend, I'm just thinking he playing one of his homies in the car. He was just a fan of him that much that it sounded like he was playing his homie. Like it wasn't his homie. He didn't know him.
Right.
He didn't know him at all.
Wow.
He was just playing it so much before he was like really big.
Yeah.
And then he blew up so fast. I was just like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, rest in peace, Pop Smoke, man.
Yeah, rest in peace, bro.
Yo, he was loved out here, and
that was the last time I was here when he passed. I had an interview, and in the middle of the interview, the DJ just looked sad as fuck.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, you good? And they were like, they didn't want to tell me, and they told me. I was just like, damn.
Yeah,
really ruined the whole day. Like, yeah, rest in peace, bro.
Yeah.
I would have loved to work with Pop Smoke. I know that shit would have sounded crazy. Yeah. We would have set New York on fire for sure.
Yeah.
But I look forward to working with you know, more artists from New York in the future for sure.
Okay. What's your take on the Kanye West album? You dropped the Thunder joint.
You know, I had that shit on my phone, like not the same version, but I had it on my phone since like Christmas. Or maybe before Christmas, right before Christmas. That was the last time I worked with him. Right. The last time I've been around. You know, I just been chasing my own thing. I don't really care anymore. Like as far as like being around, like I seen enough. I don't gotta continue. Like we got the Grammy. Like it's time to do this shit myself.
So,
yeah. So it sounded like I heard it. It sound like what it sound. Everybody gonna eat it up. It's Kanye, you know, they gonna do what it do. He's selling out arenas without even dropping it at first. Like Kanye's Kanye, bro. So I don't be shocked. Like I've really been around this
Yeah.
man. He's a genius. He
Yeah.
know what he gonna do strategically before he do it. So when he do it and everybody's like, wow, he's like, I know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he knowing that what is gonna happen. So that just taught me, you know, to strategize, plan, and execute, and really just do that shit. So that's my goal. And we did a tour in the U.S. We sold out every date, and they put it together so fast, maybe like in 7 days. 7 days, a week. They put together the tour, sold out, and then that just showed everyone back home like, oh, Pierre's ready. So.
Well, look, listen, it's dope to connect with you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for
appreciate
having
taking
me.
the time out. And like, yo, let's do this. Like keep in touch. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Minimum every year. Let's do this. Like,
Yeah, I would love to. I will be back. Y'all got some good food out here. The studio was a good vibe last night, so I could stay focused out here. Just really just keep me, you know, well knit. I like this. I like London. Yeah.